In the world of the giver, everything is designed to be pleasant, to be predictable. But in Chapter 14, that perfect design starts to show some serious cracks. We're about to dive into the chapter where Jonas learns the brutal truth behind his community's comfort and realizes the terrible price of real wisdom.
Man, talk about an opening line. The chapter just drops you right into it, no warning. Jonas is on the sled again, but this is nothing like that first joyful ride. This time, the snow is hard ice. The speed is terrifying, and the memory ends with that one single horrifying sound. It's a gut punch of a lesson in what real physical pain feels like. I mean, just look at this contrast. It's night and day, isn't it? The first memory was pure freedom and joy. This one, it's the exact opposite. It's a complete inversion. The giver isn't just giving him a random bad memory. He's showing Jonas how the universe isn't always safe. He's teaching him that joy and pain are two sides of the same coin, a concept that just does not exist in Jonas' world. And that brings us to the price of feeling. See, Jonas has been getting all these wonderful new emotions, but now the bill comes due. This isn't just a bad dream he can shake off. It's his first time experiencing raw physical agony. It's the cost of admission for being able to feel anything at all. So back in the annex, reeling from the memory, Jonas does what any kid in the community would do. He asks for pain relief. It's the instant fix for everything. But the giver just looks at him and says, no. For the first time in his entire life, Jonas is told he has to just sit with the pain. He has to feel it. There's no escape hatch this time. Later that night, limping home, he hears his family laughing. And this one thought just hits him like a ton of bricks. He's in the same room as them, but he might as well be on another planet. They're living in their comfortable, painless bubble, and he's just had a glimpse of the brutal reality outside of it. A huge gap has just opened up between him and everyone he loved. And there it is, the first real ugly side effect of his new job. It's not just the physical pain that hurts, it's the loneliness. He now carries this heavy, awful truth that his family can't even begin to understand. And that knowledge builds a wall around him, leaving him totally alone. Okay, so this is all pretty awful, and Jonas is thinking there has to be a point to this, right? This suffering has to mean something. He needs to know why. And that leads us to the huge lesson of this chapter, the wisdom that can only come from pain. After another terrible memory, this time of starvation, Jonas just breaks. He finally asks the question that's been eating him alive. Why? Why do we have to go through this? It's not just a question. It's a desperate plea for all this agony to make some kind of sense. And the giver's answer is everything. The pain gives them wisdom. But wisdom here isn't about being smart or knowing facts. Think of it more like a shield. The receiver holds on to all the painful memories of the past, starvation, war, you name it, so that he can stop the community from making the same mistakes all over again. Let me give you the perfect example he shares. The elders thought, hey, we need more workers, let's have more babies. On paper, it makes sense. It's logical. But the giver doesn't see a spreadsheet. He has the actual memory of what happens when there are too many people and not enough food. He feels the starvation, so he advises them against it, and he saves them all from a disaster they couldn't even see coming. And remember that plane back in Chapter 1, how the whole community totally panicked? Their first instinct, driven by fear, was to shoot it down. But the giver, who holds memories of what happens when people react with fear and haste, gave one crucial piece of advice. Wait. That one word, backed by the weight of history's pain, stopped them from making a tragic, irreversible mistake. So, now Jonas gets it. He understands why his job is so important. But man, knowing the reason doesn't make the weight on his shoulders any lighter. Jonas asks a pretty logical question. Hey, why don't we share these memories? Let everyone carry a little bit. And the giver's answer is just crushing. He explains that the people chose this. They didn't want the pain or the fear, so they decided to pile it all onto one person's shoulders. They willingly sacrificed one person for their own comfort. Jonas suggests trying to change things, but the giver just shuts him down. And that phrase they always use, back and back and back, suddenly sounds different. It's not comforting or stable anymore. To Jonas, it now sounds like the bars of a cage, locking them into a system that can never, ever be changed. But right when Jonas is feeling the most trapped and alone, something incredible happens.
and it has everything to do with the little new child Gabriel who's staying with his family. So Gabe is still with the family, and he's not a great sleeper. The nights are filled with his crying, and Jonas, just being a good brother, offers to take the baby into his room for the night to give his parents a break. A simple act of kindness, that's all. In the middle of the night, Gabriel starts fussing again. So Jonas starts patting his back, trying to soothe him. And while he's doing it, he starts thinking about one of the lovely memories the giver gave him, a peaceful, calm sail on a lake. He's not trying to do anything, really. He's just comforting a baby. But then, he feels something strange. The memory in his mind, it's fading. The image of the sail is getting blurry, like a photo left out in the sun. And as it fades from his mind, he realizes with a shock that it's flowing into Gabriel, who suddenly becomes quiet and calm. And just like that, everything changes. Jonas makes a mind-blowing discovery. He isn't just a receiver. He can be a giver too. This was not in the job description. It's a power nobody knew he could have, a skill he was never taught. It happened completely by accident, and it rewrites all the rules. So that's where we leave off. Jonas now has the secret ability that could change everything. He can share memories, the good, and maybe the bad. This power scares him, and it should. And it leaves us with one massive question hanging in the air. What is he going to do with it?